Are you ready? Are you ready?
I was in practice session.
Excellent. I believe we have everybody here and accounted for that needs to be here. So I will go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:32 p.m. Would all stand for the pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So before we get going for this evening's meeting, I want to make sure that we all have our cell phones off or on silent. Council members, electronics need to be put away. So we do have 3 candidates present with us this evening. I'm sorry. City Clerk, can you look at the roll call, please?
Councilmember Reed. Here. Jackson.
Here.
Waller.
Here.
Lanu.
Here.
Williamson.
Here.
And Mayor Snyder.
Here. Like I was saying, we have 3 candidates here who are going through the process for our precinct 1 seat. So who do we want to have go to another location right now, or do we have them all in another location?
You'll just pick one in, and then the 2 others will go into a different location, and then when the time's up, we will send them out and bring in the next candidate.
So Christine Thomas, if you would stay, and then if Donovan and Thomas. Do they have another? Is Thomas not here? Oh. So we're just getting Donovan located in an office so we can sit. So Christine, if you want to step forward. Do you prefer to go by Christine or?
Christine or Chris.
Chris, okay. So thank you for being here tonight with us. We are just gonna get some information about you. Give you time to let us know a little bit more about who you are, why you are interested in this seat. So I'll kind of go over to you.
My name is Christine Thomas. I've been a resident in Albion since 1974. I've raised 5 children and brought them all through the educational system here. They went on, a couple of them graduated from Albion College. I personally graduated my bachelor's from a college in Grand Rapids, Cornerstone University. I've worked in and outside of Albion for years. I am currently retired. And with that retirement, after making sure that my kids were all settled and everything, and my grandkids were on their way, I started becoming more involved in community ventures. I did express interest in the council seat a few years back. I'm still interested in it. I have a vision for the city of Albion because I I don't know, there's something about the city of Albion that makes you feel kind of loyal to it if you've been here for a while. There's a connectedness between the residents. Before I came here, I had sat down and I called up the city of Albion just to see it from an outsider's point of view. And I looked at what was on YouTube online, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I with every accomplishment that they showed, I took personal pride in it because I'm a resident here, you know, and I don't know, Albion's a part of me. I feel like I'm a part of Albion. And there are things, people who know me, they call me a get it done type person. I love solving problems and making sure that those problems get taken care of. So I'm not just a person who looks and complains, but I come up with solutions, and then I want to make sure that the solutions get enacted so the problem can be solved. And I've noticed decline in Albion, and I could not leave, and now I notice the coming back of Albion. I'm proud of that. I believe in education, I believe in physical fitness, I believe in taking care of our seniors as well as our children. I believe in personal accountability for our officers, people who are in government. And so I saw different things that were being implemented in the city of Albion that brought me a lot of joy. As I said, I believe in physical fitness, and so when the YMCA came to Albion and offered free classes, I'm jumping like, okay, I want to go. And so I joined the water aerobics class. I popped in on a couple of step aerobics classes, and I love it. I absolutely love it. When the walkways and the bike trails started coming up, I was excited. It's like, okay, I can pull up my bicycle and I can go for, you know, a ride and a walk, and it felt like a dream because I've wanted these things forever. The only thing we don't have is a Wendy's. I used to love my chocolate frosties, but you never know. And so there were different things that turned around that I absolutely love. I love the use of Crowell School and the things that are going on there. I was kind of disheartened with McIntosh Park, but now I'm riding a high again because there's going to be a new playground and a splash pad, and I'm really excited about that. I also hope that they put a little walk track around the perimeter of the playground so that the parents can, instead of just sitting and watching their kids, they can keep an eye on their kids while they're walking around. It's just my plug. I would love to see a walk-run track around the perimeter of the playground. But like I said, I see problems, and I love solving problems. And right now, Albion is in a great place. It's partnering with different businesses. There's the program with KCC and the training program that they're offering to Albion residents. That's exciting. You know, my hope is that one day we actually have a trade school located in Albion so that local businesses in the different areas will see Albion as a place where they can come and get well-trained employees, and we can build a name for ourselves. I'm looking for a trade school here as well. So, but right now with what KCC is offering, I'm excited about that. And so with all of the different things that are going on with Washington Garden Junior High School and the Body and Soul Center, I joined one of the committees there, the Planning and Policy Committee, because I want to be involved in not just the communication of ideas, but I actually want to be a part of coming up with the ideas to help people have access, you know, so the college is represented, I want the community to represent it. And so I got involved in that. And so it's kind of like the same thing with the city council. You guys are starting to do good work, not starting to do good work, but you know what I'm saying, things are turning around. And there's the training, that's the coaching that's getting ready to come up. I think that's an excellent idea. If I'm elected, I'm looking forward to getting trained. So I just have a vision for Albion regarding education, regarding housing, regarding fitness. And I see all of these areas being addressed. And I just want to add my input to keep that moving and to keep things, moving for Precinct 1, because Precinct 1 has kind of been overlooked for a long time. And so when I saw the university and the 3-hole golf course that they wanted to put out there, and I saw the playground and the splash pad, and okay, this is wonderful. This is Precinct 1. We're getting on the map in Albion. It's really nice. So that's why I'm here. I want to be a part of keeping the momentum going, adding my part to getting certain problems solved, and just seeing what I can do as an individual, and then if I'm elected as a part of this corporate body to keep things going in the right direction.
Well, thank you so much. That is wonderful information. Yeah.
So I just want to make sure, because we're on a time
Yeah,
constraint, I want to make sure we do like 5 minutes of Q&A, and then we have to move on to the next presentation. There's only 2.
No, yeah, so,
I want to at least keep time.
Yeah. so do we have,
In the email I sent out to all the council earlier, it's roughly 3 minutes for them to share why they're interested in the precinct, and then about 5 minutes for council to ask any questions that you all may have, and then we'll switch to the next candidate, just because we are under short time frame.
so does anybody have any specific questions, Ms. Thomas? And you explained this all very well. In the time that we
Thank you.
had, so.
I kind of get excited.
That's wonderful. No, you gave us a lot of insight. So are you good with this candidate? Yes, Councilman Williamson.
So you've seen, you've applied for this position, you've seen where council has been going the past at least a year, if not many more. What do you think the most pressing issue on council is right now?
The coaching, so that everyone can learn what the proper roles are, what the proper decorum is, and gaining back the respect and of the community in general, and not just in Albion, but in the surrounding area as well. Everyone is doing a good job. I mean, we've got a new city manager, and to me, it looks like she's putting her heart and soul into it. So thank you. But I think the integrity was tarnished by some of the behavior that's been put out, and so I think that that's being addressed, and I don't think it's going to be a problem for long. But it looks like everyone is really serious about getting everything on board and moving forward together as a unit.
So are we good with the questions? We can give it our time. All right, well, thank you so much. Yes, we're good. So we're
Thank
gonna
you.
swap out the candidates. Yeah, so Mr. Williams will be next.
Hello, Ward.
Hi, Mr. Williams, how are you?
I'm doing well. And you?
Wonderful, thank you for being here with us tonight. What we're doing, we're going to give you about 3 minutes to kind of give us some information about yourself, and then we'll have the opportunity to ask you some follow-up questions. So I will go ahead and turn the floor over to you to introduce yourself to us and as to why you're interested in this precinct seat.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, I'd like to say my name is Donivan Williams. I'm the grandson of Robert Lee Williams and Eunice Williams, and son of Barbara Williams, here present today. I'm a child of Albion. I like to refer to myself as one of those people who, in the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. I just happen to be that child. Growing up in Albion, I've lived in and spent time with a lot of families here, was raised by a lot of families, and people who care, so I just want to say thank you to all of them. And that's why I'm here today. As far as my agenda, my concern here in Albion is that I haven't seen enough youth programs. When I was growing up, we had the advantage of Power for Kids, 4-H. Ms. Bryce, who's present today, she was one of my mentors, still is today. And I would like to see more programs here in the Albion area targeted at the youth through STEM and character building programs like the 4-H program was or is. I'd also like to tackle the skilled trades and job training for the medical industry, such as nursing and things like that. I would like to see more pathways and access to those jobs and higher paying careers for people here in Albion. We definitely have the bodies, but not necessarily always have the opportunities. I also would like to attack the employment problem that we have here in Albion. There's not a lot of well-paying jobs here. I worked here in Albion for over 11 years at the same job, didn't pay much. My biggest hurdle at the time was transportation. I still feel as though transportation is an issue that we have here in Albion. We don't necessarily have to bring the jobs here right away, but there's jobs that are hiring, that pay well, that if people just had a ride, a reliable ride or source to get back and forth, they could take advantage of those jobs, still come back to the community and live in the community and provide and give back to the community as well. Another thing that I have on my agenda is bridging the gap between the resources that are needed and the programs that are available. I think sometimes, well, more often than not, the resources are out there, but people just don't know how to access them. So if I could bridge the gap in my community or in Precinct 1 to do so and throughout the community, then that's what I would love to see accomplished. All right.
So do we have questions from council members? Councilman Lindsay?
I'll ask the same question I asked before. You've been paying attention to council, I hope, for the last couple of months, if not the last year or more. What do you think the biggest issue facing council is right now?
Well, I think council, much like everywhere else, we need to see more inclusiveness, more of each other working together. And I'm not sure if that's not the case, because I'm not in the room, but I think the needs of Albion are known, but working together to execute and make sure that those needs are met is what's necessary and what's needed. Now, hopefully, my addition to the council will bridge that gap and execute upon that. But, that's what I see from where I'm at. All right.
Any other questions from council? Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Williams. We appreciate your time and your insight.
All right, thank you.
Do we have it right? All right, so at this time, do we move downstairs to discuss? Discussion here? Okay. So Okay. So at this time, we will open it up for public comments, specifically to our candidates. Anybody would like to stand? You have 3 minutes. If you would please state your name and your address.
I am Renee Miller. I reside at 208 Booth Drive. I reside in Precinct 1. Hello. I just wanted to say I would like for the council to seriously consider Donivan Williams. With all due respect to Mrs. Connor, which I think is a great person. However, Donivan was born and raised in Albion. He's a product of Precinct 1. He still resides in Precinct 1. He is, I think he's the necessary candidate that we need to fight for Precinct 1. As he said, it is one of the precincts that has been left, out. If you look around Precinct 1, the blight that's there, the lack of build, I think he would be the person because he understands Precinct 1. He's coming from being there as a child to residing there now. He's a great individual that I think is respected by many in the precinct. He's a great contributor to the tax base. He's a great mentor to people. He's a sound mind, and not only that, I think the council has been dominated in the last few years by women. We get a male here and there. I think we need the balance of another male perspective on the council. So I just would say, please take an honest look at him.
It can be going from that. Appreciate it.
Good evening, Council. My name is Mitchell Avant. I'm a resident of 921 North Berrien Street here in Albion, Michigan. And I would like to endorse Donivan Williams. He's been my best friend for 15 years. He was my best man in my wedding, so I'm really close to him, familiar with him, and he's a stand-up guy. We grew up together in Precinct 1, and we went to Crow Elementary, and we were involved in Power for Kids and 4-H. And Donivan is a lot different than me, and that I'm a lot more outspoken, and I got more like, I can be a little bit, militant in how I approach things. But Donivan is very laid back, and he's very, he likes to be resourceful and come and bring people together. He didn't mention this, but he works at Kellogg, and he's a union steward there. So he's really good with problem solving and working with large groups of people and bringing people together. And he always talks about, there's land in the land bank and there's different resources here. We have these conversations every weekend. So I think that he'll be able to get this Precinct 1 the access they need to all the resources. And he will do that by networking and doing the research and finding opportunities for Precinct 1. So I would like to endorse Donivan. He's a stand-up guy, and I think he's what the city council needs.
Hello, my name is Tremaine Williams, and Donivan is my little cousin. You think he's my big cousin, but he's my little cousin.
Can you state where your address is?
Oh, 808 South Eaton, so I'm not in Precinct 1, but I just want to echo all of the things that the two before me came. I come to endorse him. And the one thing that I can say about him is he is a man of integrity. Those things that he said today they're not things that he just studied last night. These are things he's been talking about for so long. You know what I mean? Like he's always talking about these kind of things. And so as we were growing up, he said that he had a village raising him. My mother was one of the people that was fortunate enough to have him. He was like an addition to our family. And although he was my younger cousin, I would oftentimes look to him for advice, you know what I mean? And he would always just be upfront, you know what I mean? Like we never really sugarcoat nothing, you know what I mean? If I'm wrong, he'd tell me I'm wrong. And I believe that he would do the same in any environment that he's in. And so, as they said, I just think he would be a great addition for the city and to this group of people. I do think a male presence would be a good thing too. So just to add that, but first of all, I just feel like he's just a person of integrity. And so I just want to vouch for him in that way.
Thank you.
Sherry Grace, 812 North Marion Street, grew up in Precinct 1. Donnie Williams, I worked with for years. He's a very nice young man. He worked on national level for me for programs. He worked on state level. He's smart. He's a peacemaker. And would be young and bring more youth to this council. No offense, everybody. But I think I really would support him. I know so much about him. And you guys would just love him on the council. I'm just gonna be simple. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Wayne Arnold, 906 Hall Street. I too endorse Donivan Williams. I've known Donivan since he was born. I've been a lifelong member of Albion. I grew up, of course, on the west side of Albion. So I knew his grandparents. Like I said, his mother and I, we grew up a few years apart, but I know Donivan well. He's an outstanding young man. I think that he would represent the first precinct well. We need that young spirit coming out of the precinct number 1. I can't think of anyone in precinct 1 would represent Albion better. Outstanding young man, very respectable, soft-spoken. Kudos to him. Before, I thought a young man in the first precinct should have been elected, but he chose someone different. But I think he needs to be there. He's going to speak well for Albion. He's going to speak well for the issues that's going to be facing us, going forward. So definitely, I definitely recommend that Donivan be appointed to the first precinct of city council.
Does anybody else have anything to stand? Any other comments? No? Okay. City manager report. So how do we just open it up to discussion? Even adjourn and then we'll discuss then our meeting. Are we good with, do we have any council member comments on this? Councilwoman Lenny?
Thank you, Mayor Snyder. I just want to thank the candidates for taking the initiative and thank everyone here tonight. I love to see so many people getting involved, so I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Any other comments? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh.
Support. City Clerk Domingo?
Councilmember Reed, Jackson,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Lanu,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yeah.
and Mayor Snyder.
Yes. So the timing is great to move right into our regular session.